invited today to come and talk to STV about facilitating with confidence. We've spent the afternoon looking at how you can plan a session really quickly in 5-10 minutes that is resonant for your audience. That if you're running a session, whether you're running a training session or whether you're delivering a presentation or whether you're facilitating, and we'll look at what facilitating actually means in a minute, but whatever you're doing, if you're at the front of the room or sat down in a room and you're talking to a group of people, then ultimately what you're wanting to do is to create some element of change in your audience. You're wanting them to think something different, you're wanting them to do something different, and you're wanting them to feel something different. So you're wanting to create some sort of change, and if you're not focused on the change that you want to create in your audience, then what are you doing at the front of the room? Why are you there? And the other thing that's really important is thinking, all right, so this is what I want to do, but how about them? How can I make what I'm about to say as relevant as I can possibly make it to them? Because that's when there's the mismatch that sometimes happens, is that you know what you want to push out there, and they know what they want to hear, but the two things, it's like, they're missing one another. So it's about creating that connection between the two. It's about understanding the different learning styles that people have and the different preferences that people have in terms of the questions that they need to have answered. What we've also looked at is the different preferences that we have in terms of how we take in information, whether we're more visual and whether it's all about what we can see and how we can paint a picture of our learning in our brain, whether we're more auditory, which is all about how we can hear the relevance of what's being discussed. And do you know what happens with presentations that we create in PowerPoint? It almost forces us to go down this push line. Because it's like, I've got these 2,057 slides that I need to impart to this client in the next half an hour. Right, I'm going to go into push mode. And we go hell for leather trying to get to the end of the slide deck, don't we? And they're like, wow, too much information. And just like Craig was saying, you don't come back with information about them.
I find today's session was enormously helpful and relevant to my everyday work. Speaking with both work colleagues on a regular basis and also clients as well. It's given me a real opportunity to apply a lot of the structures and learnings today into everyday working environments. So I'm looking forward to getting out there and actually trying them out.
If these small businesses have invested the time to come to sit in the meeting, then there's an interest there. So what you could do is send them an email beforehand saying, really looking forward to meeting you, really want to hear what you want to learn from us. And then that's just gold dust, because you can then reference the individual, what they said, the challenge they're facing, and build that into what you're saying.
Antoinette's very inclusive, very open, and makes you feel really relaxed in terms of the training.
So the why is the kind of the status quo situation right now. Why is this relevant? What needs to change? The what is the information, the how is how I'm going to use it, and then finally you finish with, you do the risks first, and then you finish with the high, the benefits. So this is what's going to happen in the future once your audience has taken on board everything you've said. But again, if you're wanting to engage with all your audiences, then it makes sense to build in visual, auditory and kinesthetic language into what you're talking about, whether you're facilitating, presenting, training. When you feel like you've got challenges coming from an audience, you might think, oh God, they're being really tricky, or they're asking a really tricky question. You could choose to go down that train of thought in your head and have that voice going, oh, you're doing a really bad job, and oh, they're being really difficult, and oh my God, this is going from bad to worse, Jesus, I wish I wasn't here, and you could have all of that going on. Or you could replace that train of thought with, actually, there are no tricky audiences, there are just people who have got a need that is not being met at the moment.